I have the morning off, so I've been down here at the water on the farm where we rent, just fishing and reading. And I wanted to talk about what I think is coming next. I think all this disclosure, all these convergences on the horizon we've seen we've seen it for a long time, but the further and further we get into this, it's just so many irons in the fire, from disclosure to UFOs to AI, the boom of AI to I'm gonna try to not clap. Greg said to clap less, and I trust Greg. He's a good guy. He's the best guy. AI, UFO disclosure, all the wars you could ever imagine, everything from typographies of Ezekiel 38 and Psalm 83 and just every biblical thing going on. If you were to read Daniel 8, Daniel 8 talks about him being in Susa, the citadel of Susa, which is where Esther and all these biblical characters were. It's Iran. It's right there by the Strait of Hormuz. He talks about seeing a goat with two uneven horns, almost like Iran has two levels of leadership. The taller horn, the more powerful horn, came later, almost like the country's divided. And it talks about it going frantic and attacking south and north and east and west, and nobody can stand against it, and it has become great. And then a goat from the west, all the way across the globe, exact verbiage, flies to this goat without ever touching the ground to defeat it, with a horn on its head. And you can go back to the Hebrew of when it was written. It's a trumpet. It's a trump on its head. Crazy, just biblical ties. Check that out. It's Daniel 8. Please look it up. Tell me that's not quite relevant. With all these things happening that just make the Bible come more alive, I think what's coming next with this AI quantum computer integration is the singularity, or a perversion of the singularity. The Bible ends by saying God will become all in all. In this concept of building the singularity, the quantum AI that megacorp will own, whoever can afford to actually fund all these data centers, they will own or be in control of, I don't know how you own this thing, the information. And they will give it to the people through a screen. Meta has totally ditched their VR. It's all screen. It's all pocket carry for now. I think eventually they're going to go Neuralink, but they are going to let you access supercomputer via their screen. That's how they're going to be able to have you say, you'll own nothing but be happy. Quantum computing and AI working together, if you look into what quantum computing is, the scientific verbiage specifically says it is accessing different dimensions to solve its computing computations. To solve all the mass number of problems it's doing, the quantum computer, via Einstein's spooky action at a distance, is accessing other dimensions to solve what is being asked to solve. That's disclosure. That's alternate dimension things. All these people coming out of skiffs are saying they're not so much Martians as much as they are extra dimensional beings. And you'll hear people like Gabe Perot. He's been on a bunch of podcasts. He just had a book come out where he died, hit his head, died, then was in a coma, and claims to have been in heaven for 18 days. You hear testimonies and perspectives like that, and it all seems to kind of tie together. This book, Larry Ragland, The Final Flood, talks about how what's happening now ties back into the days of Noah, which is something I would encourage you to read about, the days of Noah, Genesis 6, and how the world was divided from there. But Jesus says, as in the days of Noah, so will it be in the coming at the coming of the Son of Man. And I think where this ties alternate dimensions, heaven being real, Jesus Christ being real, being the creator who spoke everything into existence, who entered existence to save you specifically, to me specifically. He will speak my name. He will speak your name and lift you up to his face should you have the faith in him. All that is coming out and becoming more obvious all at once because they're going to reveal themselves. These powers and principalities that have dominion over the earth because man has given it back to them after it was given to us. Satan, his power and principalities, the Prince of Persia, the King of Tyre, these characters are real. That's where in the days of Noah, the fallen angels mating with the women, I don't know how consensual that was, very violent, very vulgar. Then maybe it was. Look at all the human trafficking that goes on today. That all ties in. It's all evil. It's all evil. If it's not Jesus Christ, it's evil. And that's the bottom line. You're gonna start hearing this in podcasts and people talking about it in the news that 90% of the stuff you see in the sky, Tic Tac, these UFOs, 90% are our secret projects. 10% we can't account for. But these people will say this, 100% of it is dark. It's fallen angel technology. It's what happened to in Genesis when Lamech's children, if you read it, were given knowledge. One of his children is the father of all tent making. One is the father of all stringed instruments or fluted instruments. I can't remember. Then you have the Nazis and the occult, Aleister Crowley and Jack Parsons, in this explosion of technology. Information being given at a time when people are interacting heavily with the occult. And that's happening right now. If you talk to AI, if you listen to these interviews, you listen to these people, it is all spiritual and it is all dark. And I think the rapture is going to be the flip of that switch. And I don't know if that's going to be today. I don't know if that's going to be in 50 years. There's so much typography in the Bible that points to it. So the book of Ruth being a chiasm, the whole Bible being a chiasm, which is a story where it has a beginning and an end, and they mirror each other, and all the chapters in between mirror each other, and it hinges on a point. And the point is always Jesus Christ of Nazareth having been the body that the Creator came into to live and suffer and die, to pay my price specifically and your price. If you're not obsessing over that, if that doesn't consume your core, I'm afraid that you will be deceived about what's coming next. Jesus is very specific that the deception would be so good that even the very elect would be deceived were it possible. And there's a lot of conjecture about what were it possible means. AI is going to become so good. The quantum degree of problem solving is going to become so capable of providing any conceptual thing that if you're not already anchored to Jesus, you're going to be deceived. And that's a huge concern I have about what comes next. I love you guys. I'm going to end it there. I'd like to talk to you about Jesus if anybody wants to.